Welcome to Beat the Often Path. I'm your host, Ross Palmer. On this show, I interview people with highly unusual and creative success stories. Unusual times call for unusual stories, and I hope to inspire you by expanding your horizon and opening you up to different ways of making money and succeeding in this crazy world. Most of all, I just want to selfishly learn from people that I admire. Hashtag sorry not sorry. And hashtag I'm sorry for saying hashtag as a word and not writing it out. Today, my guest is Theo Nabers, a Dutch guy, otherwise known as Mental Theo. He's one of the fathers of hardstyle music, with a string of high-profile hits in the 90s that launched his somewhat ridiculous career. He's a multi-millionaire DJ who still plays over 100 shows per year, and he shows no sign of stopping. He's a guilty pleasure for a lot of Dutch people, and let me tell you, the guy is always having fun on stage, and that's what he brings to every single party. And it only made sense that when I had a DJ duo act that involved pink and purple cat masks, that he said, yes, let's work together. And that is a true story to be shared another time, I think. We dive deep in this interview into the business of being a successful DJ. And hopefully we can show you that you don't have to be Tiesto to have a successful, fulfilling career. And for that, he's somebody who I think has always done it his own way and somebody that I admire for sure. So let's dive right in with Mental Theo.
All right. So, if you were going to describe yourself in one paragraph, what would it be?
In one paragraph?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What is the intro to Mental Theo?
Oh, in one paragraph, okay. I'm Mental Theo. I'm the most craziest, oldest legend in Holland. Started the hardcore scene in the 90s.
Okay.
That's me.
And you're still a traveling DJ who does 180 gigs a year.
Yeah, the funny thing about that, Ross, is that many years ago, about 15 years ago, I was asking myself, I'm still going to do so many gigs a year? Is it still possible? And how do the people look at a DJ who's older, you know? And I had a time that I thought, like, yeah, with all these people in front of me, like 21 years old, are they accepting me? The thing is, nowadays, lucky, I'm still doing 100 gigs a year, sometimes more. And people are really into what you are playing, the creativity, how crazy you are, the kind of music that you are playing. For example, Carl Cox, one of the oldest guys, he's so credible, he's amazing, he's old, but he's quality. People nowadays go for quality. And thank you for that, but otherwise I was not doing over 100 gigs a year.
So what do you think is, what's unique about your career, would you say?
What is unique about my career? In the old days, in the 90s, we were really busy with experimental music. There was no happy hardcore. There was no hardcore. There was no old school. We got our influence from the first sounds of Chicago, the house and the techno sounds. And we've noticed that people wanted faster. And in the UK, they had their break beats, and in Germany, they had a rave sound. We had actually nothing. We had to create something. And seen in Rotterdam and Amsterdam, they were really aggressive. So the techno became harder and harder. And we made a combination. And we made the first happy hardcore record in the world, which is called Live at London. And in these days, it was like a gimmick. It was experimental. It was not like we are creating a hit, that we were making music for fun. And suddenly a guy from the radio called and he said, oh, I like your style. I want to play it on the radio. And I said to the guy, listen up, dude. This is happy hardcore. They're never gonna accept this style of music on the Dutch radio. Yeah, that's why I want to be the first one. So that's where what we did. Actually, we created something. And many years later, the whole world is playing happy hardcore. Even guys in the States, like, for example, Gammer, you know? Yeah. He is from the UK, but he plays a lot in America. And there's the happy hardcore. The hardcore is really becoming to get popular. And that's what we did. And with all the gigs and the venues, I was there from the very first moment on. I was the one who was playing hard techno for the first time in the limelight in New York City.
Right.
And that the people thought, what is this? Because the hard techno, we combined it with acid music. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really dope. And Thanks again, the underground scene, which made it all possible.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into some general life questions here. Okay.
General life.
General life. So do you read? If so, how much do you read per week? And if you read, do you read just for enjoyment or for business or development?
Okay, how much I read? Is that reading books or reading articles on the internet?
Let's say books or whichever you prefer. Let's start with books.
Okay, I'm not really in reading books. I like it when it goes about people who are successful. So, for example, our Dutch Formula One driver Max Verstappen. That's quite a history already.
Okay.
So I was really into what was happening in the old days, and what was happening in the Formula One, because I'm really interested in Formula One, because I owned my own racing team for 6 years.
Yeah.
So these kind of books I like. I read once a book about the tactics of war, how the people from the beginning of humanity started with wars and up until now, how the strategies are.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting because in the days without internet and everything, the communication, how to get information and how to treat your opponent different, it's really interesting, and I learned a lot from that, and these kind of books are interesting. And of course, the books or the information you get from internet and articles, which we see in the news, I like to read it, and the reason why I like to read it, because it's so untrue mostly. What we see on internet about politics, about money, about investments, is just politics, because we get those information, we can read from a certain group who wants to push us in a direction. And oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I'm very busy at the moment. You can call me back in about 1 hour. Thank you. And they think it's a joke. I'm not fucking joking. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to say.
You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can say fuck. It's okay. I don't care.
No, but the thing is, it's all politics, because it's like we are with so many people on this planet.
Yeah.
And they have to push us in a direction that we believe in something, so we also act. And this is the nice thing about reading. If you don't believe what you read, but you give a meaning from your heart, what you really believe, not what you have seen on television or read. And that's where it gets interesting.
Okay, that's a great answer. Okay, well, all right, at this point, now that you've had a pretty long career, what drives you now? What motivates you?
What motivates me is that the most important thing in life I've learned is to collect a lot of nice people around you. Good people, nice people, respectful people. They create really quality time.
Yeah.
And the most fucking important thing in life is create quality time. But life is so short, and everybody on this planet, we have a lot of friends and family and good friends we still trust, and people we have trusted who really fucked you. It's a part of life. So today it's very nice if you can have a lot of good friends around you who are there for you when it's really necessary, where you can laugh with, but also can cry with. That's very important. The drive to create that environment, these kind of people around me, is for me very important. And if you have these kind of people, you will notice that you really, but I mean that you really can make steps forward, because these people like to work for you, like to work with you, and you can create nice things. And it's not always about money. And nowadays, when I run a very small company with a friend of mine, that we have 34 people working, these are all young people, and the drive is to be there for them and to create a job that they can buy a house or can buy a car, and they can be happy, and that they if they come to the job with a smile, but also they leave with a smile.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. And also in music, people ask me, Theo, how long are you going to continue with being a DJ?
Right.
And till I fucking die on stage.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer.
The reason is, Ross, I love my crowd.
Yeah.
I was always wondering, why is Tina Turner still performing?
Right.
It's not about money.
Yeah.
It's because of love. Love from the crowd. If I see a few people smiling, it's like I'm the happiest guy ever because you can make people happy. You know what it is? You're a DJ. You know what it is? If you play a record and people are like, oh, yeah. It's more than money can buy,
That's awesome. That's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any daily routines or rituals or a spiritual practice?
In the last 6 months, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have routines because I lived a life like everything was possible.
Yeah.
If we had a party, come bring the champagne and another one.
Yeah.
Fuck it, another one.
Yeah.
And with also with dinner and everything and more and more. And so at one point in my life, I thought, oh my God, what I'm doing, because I was becoming greasy and fat, and that, And then I lost some friends, some important friends. And I asked myself the question like, what's the next step? Mm-hmm. I'm over the 50. Mm-hmm. I'm on stage every weekend. So I need to do something, and I have to be very, very lucky that I have nice people, very nice wife. I'm still healthy. What's the next? I said, and the next thing was create a routine. And the routine was every morning I go to the gym.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, the last 6 months I'm really working on it. This year I started with 6 days a week, which is fucking mad, of course.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's really working. So I start very early. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I'm at the gym again. Sometimes at 7 o'clock, I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
I do the workouts with a personal trainer, and I feel great. I control my food, my drinks, my everything, and I feel better than ever.
Okay.
And I notice that I'm capable to do more than before.
Interesting.
And I feel good, and I look good, and I'm proud of myself. Standing naked in the mirror, I think, looking good. Not everything, but I'm looking good, But it's like a routine, and also like my routine for this year, my every year, start of the year. Okay, what should we do this year? And this year I said, my new routine is to cut the crap. Okay. Because I'm always busy with things. We needed a lot of attention and a lot of stress, and at the end, it didn't make any money. Not the most important thing, but I was always busy with things, and I've learned after so many years to keep focus on your hardcore business, what is really necessary, and if you do that, you will have lots of time to invest in friends and family, which is very important, very important. So I have time over, and that's what I realized. So my routine is cut the crap. Don't, because I was really a guy, I was shooting 10, 20 arrows in the hope I was, one hits the bull, and it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work, and just do what you're really good at, try to learn, and so that's my routine. It starts with training and keep my focus on the things which are really important.
Okay, great answer. All right, quick one. Dress for success or dress for comfort?
That's a hard one.
One answer, one word.
Okay. You asked me. It's a very...
one word.
Ask it different.
I don't know how.
Ask it again.
You want to skip it?
No, I don't want to skip it. I want to think about it.
Okay.
Ask it again.
Dress for success or dress for comfort?
Comfort.
Comfort. Okay, got it. It's on the book. Okay.
Comfort.
So would you say, I know this is a Dutch expression, but do you feel that you live to work or do you work to live?
Work to live. As a DJ, I live to work because my work is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I really, I had 4 gigs last weekend.
Yeah.
And on Monday, it's like, oh, awesome weekend, nice people. And so that's my goal. And I hope I can work for the next 20 years like this. It's not going to happen, but that's what I said 20 years ago also. Would I be a DJ for all my life, you know?
Maybe
but
the
thing is, as long as the crowd accepts it and loves it, Ross, I'm going to be on that stage.
You'll be there. I get it. That makes perfect sense. Okay, let me see. Okay, so who is the one person in your field that you admire the most? I mean, obviously a lot of big DJs, but who's the one that you admire the most?
In the scene, as a DJ, it's Carl Cox.
Carl Cox, okay.
It's Carl Cox, and the reason is, I played with Carl Cox all over the world, from Australia, America, England, Spain, Germany a lot. And the funny thing is, I don't see him often. So only, but last year I was at Ultra Miami, and I was backstage at where Carl his stage was, and so he came up there with lots of people, and after, let's say, 5-6 years, he saw me, and he was like, hey, with a big smile, of course. Hey, Theo, how you doing? Long time, you know. And he took all the time before he went on stage.
Wow.
And he didn't have to do that because there were 50 people around him.
Yeah.
But the thing that he is, as a human being, really awesome. He's the most friendly guy I know, and he's so respectful. And I also know a few of his friends. And everybody says the same. He is, as a person, he is awesome. But being awesome as a DJ as well for so many years and accepted.
Yeah.
And not technical-wise, because he was the first one, plays with 4 or 5 decks, you know. He was also the first one who had the guts to make mistakes. Very important.
Yeah.
You know, he had the guts to make mistakes, and he did it. And he's one of the few DJs who's really playing from the heart.
Right.
And he also moves from the soul.
Right.
And that's a golden combination. These 3, move from the soul, play from your heart, and be a nice guy.
Yep.
So in the field, Carl Cox is, for me, he was the number one, and there will never be another one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, short answer. Real quick, no more than a couple words. What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
Life, the universe, and everything.
Super short.
Life, the universe, and everything. Crap.
Okay.
Crap.
That's it. That's final. Okay. Crap. Okay, now we've got a few business questions going on.
You
here.
want an explanation?
No, not on that one. No, that's
Okay.
short. Just short. Okay. Now we're going to business questions. Okay, so at what age, if this happened, at what age did you finally feel like you had become successful, or not yet?
Every year, 55.
This year.
I always thought I was successful from the beginning on.
Okay.
But every year you fucking learn, you know. My father told me, I have to say this, my father told me many years ago, before he died, when I was really popular and I thought I was successful at the age of 30. And I had Ferraris and Porsches and everything. Yeah. And my father told me, maybe you think now you are a really cool guy, having everything and being the successful guy. He said, I hope when I'm dead, over 25 years, you're still going to be that nice guy, works hard, has a nice wife, and if you are still successful, then you are really successful. Now we are 25 years later, and it is. So now.
So now it counts. That's great.
Now it
That's
really
great.
counts, bro. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense. All right, so do the 5 closest people around you in your life, do they represent an approximation of your own income?
No.
No, okay.
No.
You have much higher income than the rest of them, or lower?
Higher. Much higher.
Okay.
And these people are my friends because I love them. They love me because of me.
Yeah.
Not because of money or whatever.
So what do you think that, just in general, young people who are under 30 years old, what's one general tip for them to be successful?
Be honest to yourself.
And what do you think, what does that mean?
Look in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
Ask yourself the same question. What am I doing?
Right.
You know, and that's the hardest thing, to be honest to yourself. We're not Einsteins, you know, only a few of us. We're just normal people. But the thing is always, what I say to people, the tip is, it's not a failure if you fall down. It's a failure if you don't want to get up.
Okay, here's a question. So I've read a ton of business books, and they're always the same when they talk about successful people, right? They always say, like, at first I had nothing, and then fast forward, I had $100 million, you know? They always just say, like, I was broke, and then I had $100 million business. Nobody usually ever talks about how they went from zero, let's say from zero to the first 100 grand or something like that, from nothing to something. So with that in mind, how do you feel, like, either for your own life or as a general advice, like, how do you feel that the first 100 grand for people who are on the path to being wealthy or rich, how is that made? To go from nothing to something, to where you don't have to worry about money anymore.
Yeah, the thing is, first of all, you also have to be a little bit lucky. There are a lot of people in the business who were really, really lucky, or they invented something, and they were very lucky that they met the right people.
Yeah.
Business-wise, there's also people who are taking a massive risk, a major risk that they take, that they put their house, their car, everything into the business plan. And sometimes they are very lucky, and if they are very lucky, you hear from them like, "Oh, I have nothing at my house and my car and my wife and everybody," and it happened, you know. And you don't hear the stories about people who were back on the street with really nothing.
Right.
So you don't hear those stories. But the thing is, from the people who really make a lot of money, it's like with the investments. It's like high risk. High risk is mostly high money. Okay. You know, and that's the thing. And do you have the guts to do it?
Yeah.
And otherwise, you have to do it step by step. In my case, when I was just working for, I was working with blind and deaf people, and from there I got an opportunity to go to work for a record company. And when I was working for a record company, I had the possibility to make music and to make music compilations like Thunderdome. The best-selling hardcore compilation in the world. And when I made my own music, suddenly there was that first happy hardcore song. And 6 months later, a guy came up to me and said, "You want to sign a deal for an album, and we give you $2 million." Oh,
wow.
Wait a minute. Because I was the guy who was collecting the dirty laundry from people.
Right.
Yeah, a year ago. And now I get an offer like this. These things happen. It's like, so I told my mom, I said, "Mom, I can sign a deal for," "You're joking." No. And my father said, "Maybe you talk to a lawyer."
Yeah,
so
maybe.
We did.
Yeah.
And is this really true? Yeah, it's really, really true. Yeah. So can you imagine from nothing?
No.
You see your bank account.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
These things happen with if you are really lucky.
Yeah, Sure.
And also, and all the books you buy with the success stories, and I started here and I started there. Nobody will tell the absolute truth. It's a commercial thing. It's selling. It's just about making more money.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I was in Miami last year, and I met a guy who was a Bitcoin millionaire.
Yeah. Wow.
Not millionaire, milliardaire.
Billionaire. Yeah.
Billionaire.
For the American audience. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
That's huge.
Absolutely, this guy was spending on Ultra more than $1 million.
Wow.
In a weekend.
Wow.
And while he was partying, on the other side, the money, he was.
That's insane.
I have one Bitcoin.
I have one Bitcoin. Yeah, well, it's not worth much now, right? It crashed.
it's too much risk for me. It was
up and then straight down, right?
Anymore.
Okay. What's more important, talent or effort?
Pooh. Yeah, you ask questions, which is a combination thing, but it's not the talent.
Okay.
No, it's not the talent, because there are so many people with so much talent waiting out there who will never get a chance.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry,
so maybe you would say effort and luck then, or just effort.
It's absolutely luck. But if you also meet the right people who really believe in you, it's a combination of many things. An artist nowadays needs a big team, like social media, marketing, advisors, investors. Very important.
Yeah.
I won't mention names, but there's a big guy in America with long hair, and the investment company behind that, it's really amazing. And I met those people. I met the guy who was investing, and the budgets and the goals they have. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's not. Yeah. Then you really have to be lucky if you can work with them, and you just hope and pray that they will really go for it, which is not always possible because they can pull the plug anytime they want. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, what do you think is what's the smartest piece of advice you've ever received, or did we cover it already?
Smartest piece of advice.
And let's just say in business for this.
Yeah, in business, smartest piece of advice. The thing is, if people come with a deal, let them put everything on mail, everything on paper. Let them put everything on paper, and before you give one answer, go with that paper to your friends, really friends, and let them give you advice and collect advices from many people. So if you have all the advices, then you read all the advices and you make your own decision, so you can also make your own mistake if it goes wrong.
Okay. So what is your goal right now, the career-wise goal? Like, is it to throw your own festival or to be on the stage somewhere, or do you have a specific goal?
Career-wise, maybe you didn't know, but I'm going to close the whole thing I started in the 90s with Charlie Lonois and Mental Theo. April 18th is the last big show in Ziggo Dome. It's already sold out.
Cool.
And it's going to be the last one. Last year we did 2 in Ziggo Dome, and a big tour. So we reached over 400,000 people last year.
Cool.
Which was really amazing. So I'm going to close that. The reason is that I want to slow down a bit. My goal for the future is only to do the parties which are really important, really nice, and to spend more time at one location, not like the crazy thing you have in Holland that you drive 1,500 kilometers, like 1,000 miles a night, just for partying. No, just to slow down a little bit. Hopefully the business we are running is going really well in the future, and also to step back there a little bit. I also live in Spain.
Cool.
So my goal is to be more in Spain, and now I'm 5 years to go living in Spain completely.
Nice. That's kind of like our goal too. We want to maybe retire in Spain. I love it there.
Yeah, Spain is awesome. The quality of life, quality of food, the weather, everything. You know. So, yeah, that's my goal to get old in Spain.
So, all right, quick question. All right, how much do you think a 747 airplane weighs?
The first Pan Am or the last one?
The current one, the current 747. Just guess.
20 ton?
20 ton? I don't know, actually. We'll look it up after. It's a silly question.
It's a lot.
I don't know.
It's really
a lot. It's a lot.
But the weight from the Airbus is less.
Yeah, the weight for the Airbus is less, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to ask a few questions about the uniqueness aspect of your life and career. So I think we already have an answer. So, well, I guess we could say, how did you find your style, or did it find you? Like you did something, you say, were like basically the first person to do a certain sound. How did that happen? Was it an accident or a choice?
It was a choice.
Okay.
My style was a choice because I was so crazy at that time, but producing music was so funny that we needed in those times, we needed samples. Because we heard from the hip hop records and from the techno and house records, they use samples and everything. So I said, okay, let's use samples and let's use the breakbeat sound from the UK and let's use the German rave sound. And the German rave sound, if people ask, what's the German rave sound? They have a sound like with very short notes, like very happy, very friendly. And that combination on a high tempo, like 170 beats per minute, is very funny. But you need the input. And the crazy thing we did was just stealing records. I just went with my finger against a bunch of records, and I said, okay, stop. I pulled out the record, said, okay, we're going to sample this record now. And so we had no clue that we were creating something. We were just doing something. We had no clue it would be 20 years later on top of every list of a festival. We didn't knew, and it was born from creativity.
Okay. All right. Do you think that anybody can do what you do?
Absolutely. Okay. Anybody in the whole world can do what I did. Anybody, it's like every fucking morning if you wake up, it's a new day, you have a new chance to do something. The thing is, are you going to make that first step? Are you going to take that risk? Are you have to invest first or to make money to have space to take risks? It's all about that. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. But it's all between your ears. It's all between your ears, and it's very hard. And what mostly helps is the right people around you, a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, who really helps you, really gives you that support, and that you have that you start with one guy or one girl next to you who says, "Come on, go for it. You can do it." Because that's what we really need. We are human beings.
Right.
Some of us.
Some of us, yeah, not all. Okay. What are some what are some challenges that you faced on your way to success? Like, is there any big setback that you faced on the way, or was it?
Yeah, the thing is, when you start in the scene and you get very popular and the money comes, it's a very funny thing. And even nowadays in Holland, a few things are happening with the celebrities about relationships, about business. It's like the circle of life. It's also the circle of success. You start somewhere, you get a lot of money, you buy a house. In my case, I bought a house, 2 houses, a company, 2 discotheques in Spain, a racing team, Ferrari, Porsche, everything, more. And then I hired the wrong people. And if you read my book, you see that I was going from the top of the Mont Blanc, of the Mount Everest, more for you guys. I went down into the fucking bottom of nothing.
Yeah.
Because I really made so many big mistakes in my life. And if that happens, it's that moment again, you say, what I'm going to do now? How strong am I? Because the first time I was lucky. Hey guy, 2 million, man, come on, you can do it.
Right, it's over.
And now I was 500,000 minus,
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I felt so ashamed. I really felt ashamed.
Yeah.
So I had to build it up step by step.
Interesting.
And that was a big life changer to make the next steps I would make in my life with more brains.
Is there something that you believe that almost no one else believes that you know of?
Because it's like believe something.
Yeah. Like something that you believe is true that not a lot of people believe in, but you know that it's true.
Okay, let me tell you, Ross. Let me tell you, I worked in the radio business. I worked in the television business as a television celebrity. Yeah. I have friends who worked for the news agencies in the world, who are telling me the truth about news and all the news we never will hear. You know, so I know one thing which is really true: that the truth that we hear is not the truth at all. That's I know is really true.
Okay.
Absolutely. Also about politics, also about Trump and everything.
Right.
We don't hear the real truth about things.
Yeah.
It's always politics. And like in the book I told you about, you were asking me about the books I was reading. Now the thing is, in these books you can see mostly the people who own or have the power over communication over the news, spreading the news. These people are very, very dangerous for the world. And once you are doing it really good, people do it really good, have lots of friends, but more enemies. So what we hear, it's not
true. Okay.
Absolutely.
Scary. Terrifying stuff. That's very, very scary. All right. You know the expression hindsight is 20/20. It's always easier to see your mistakes looking back than looking forward, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you were going to do it all over again, would you do something different than what you did?
No. I would do exactly the same.
Okay.
Because I'm a guy who always say to people, yeah, Theo, but I say, oh, wait a minute. You only see the things from me which are really successful.
Yeah.
But I'm a guy, even if I make every day a mistake, you won't hear about it. I'm that positive guy, you know? Because I don't see mistakes as mistakes. I see mistakes as free lessons. I don't have to pay for it. And sometimes you have to pay for it.
In other ways, yeah.
No, that was a very expensive lesson.
Yeah,
you will never. The more money it will cost, the better the lesson.
The better the lesson. That's a great.
It's the thing in life. What I have, Ross. It's the way it is.
Yep. Okay. No, that's really good. That's very helpful. So I had a question of, are you living your dream? But I think you would say, yes, you're living your dream.
I've learned to live my dream.
Yeah.
Because the dream in life is not about being the richest guy of having the most expensive watch.
Right.
I'm not wearing a watch at all.
No watch. Yeah.
Today, because it's broken.
It's broken. Yes.
But otherwise, I would have 6 watches, which I don't have, because it's not necessary. So the thing is, it's not. It's more important. Again, it's the quality of life that rules everything. It's not what people think about you or how important you can be for others. You know, it really don't count. At the end, it don't count. With how many you have if you are dead, it doesn't count.
Doesn't matter.
So what happens now is what really counts. And from the history, we can hopefully learn. But what counts is tomorrow. Every tomorrow after that. And the rest sucks.
Makes sense.
It's just information, Ross.
Right. That's good. We're almost done here. So, all right. One last question for this section is, I get 2 questions. One is, have you experienced burnout, or do you feel that that's a danger for you?
Burnout.
Yeah.
Burnout. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck burnout.
There are no burnouts.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have new diseases. There's always something, you know. There's always something about people who are not in balance, who are not controlling their life, who are always looking for an escape. And now, 2020, burnout is the escape for people who are thinking, oh, it's not going to go my way. I'm not happy. Family, work, whatever. I have a burnout. Fuck it. Burnouts don't exist. The problem, it was already there before the burnout came, or the breakdown. Oh, I can't. Nervous breakdown. Fuck it, it's like, if you are in life and you eat healthy and you train, most important, your social life, good friends, a nice wife, a dog, go for a walk, go to a bar, have a party, go surfing, horseback riding, do something, make that balance in your head equal to what you're doing in work.
Yeah.
Because I will not mention names, but in Holland, a friend of mine got a burnout, very important guy in the scene, and I asked his colleague, what's going on? Yeah, it was all too much for him, because he was so into that. We have to do better on in the job we are doing. We have to do better, and they're gonna ask more from us, and I don't know if I can make it. And the thing is, I had that same question when I was doing radio. The director of the company said to me, Theo, you have to come here, come. Listen up, guy. Hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. I said, oh, wait a minute. Better, and I'm doing now, it will never get. This is it, friend. This is it. And people always make problems of these kind of things, which is not necessary.
Sure.
And make sure you talk about it, talk with friends, and go do funny, nice, happy things, to get that balance.
Okay.
And don't run away. Another word for a burnout is run away. Don't run away. Fight it.
Fix the problem,
and talk with friends. It's like, so it's a new thing. It's like, for example, a couple of years ago we had that Me Too thing.
Right.
Oh, me too. Everybody, oh, me too. Come on. It's the thing is, we as human beings, we are so lucky. We can create something really nice. We can create very nice things. Look at the Oscars, the last Oscars. What people say. That guy was playing the Joker.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
In his whole speech, he said one important thing. We are all very intelligent people. Let's do something with that. Let's help each other.
Yeah.
Let's help each other. Let's help the world.
Yeah.
The rest of the speech or whatever, it doesn't count. With our intelligence, come on, guys, help each other. Be respectful. Most difficult thing in life for human beings.
Okay, well, there's only one more question now. So if you were going to become a member of a boy band, would it be NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, okay.
The reason is I performed more with the Backstreet Boys than with NSYNC.
Okay.
And at NSYNC, it was mostly, they had only struggles and fights. And the Backstreet Boys, these guys were relaxed. They were relaxed.
Okay.
And the first gig they did in Germany with us, they were sitting there and next to us wearing basketball suits, and really like very young guys, and they were friendly from the beginning. They came up to us, "Hi, guy, oh nice, are you also playing? Yeah, cool." And it's I still sometimes play just when I'm playing really hard, really hardcore. Yeah. I sometimes drop just a song from the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I knew it.
Everybody, Backstreet's back. And people are like, oh, what are you doing?
Crazy. Okay.
Love it.
I knew you'd have a good answer for that one.
Backstreet Boy.